What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the 3 on 3 Pod, where three hosts give you three unique perspectives on three of the hottest topics in the basketball world. And this is a special day because Tariq is in the house. What's good, girl? What's up, baby?
Didi, what up, though? What's going on, y'all?
Nothing much, just living bright, trying to be like you. And then, hold up, we got Didi. Didi in here. Hey.
What's up, my people? It's a party.
It's a party because literally we have never had this happen before on the show where we have all three of the main ingredients for this podcast. I just want to say, and it's so fitting, right? Because it's a Thanksgiving holiday weekend or week coming up that we finally have each other
Yes.
to look at.
Aww.
Not one, not two, but all three of us. So I'm emotional.
We are family.
Are we bringing out the singing? We bringing out the singing at 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay.
12:21 at 9 a.m. right here. 12:21 a.m.
You're right.
I'm always down to sing. Always down to sing.
I just want to say though, like all of y'all energies is just so infectious and really inspiring, so that I can't say enough about how excited I am to get this episode kicked off, because we're gonna have a whole lot of fun, and then I feel like and one of those topics is gonna get a little spicy.
As
Get a little spicy.
As it should. That's what we're here for. That's what
Yeah.
we're
Might be a little.
We all black. Spice ain't hurting us, but we want the spice.
Might be a little red hot. Might be a little red.
Yeah, red hot, little Tabasco.
little Cholula.
Yep, you know. Oh man. Hey, though, going back to the Thanksgiving theme though, like Didi, how are you handling the holidays in Australia? Because I know that's got to be a huge adjustment for you.
Honestly, is it though, you guys? Because in college, we ain't never celebrated Thanksgiving. Like, we didn't really get to go home. We were always on like a trip. Like, my freshman year was Bahamas. Sophomore year it was Vegas. Junior year, I can't remember, but like, we're always somewhere. So I've been used to missing Thanksgivings. Now the difference this year is I'll be missing Christmas. That's gonna change it up a little bit, but I'm used to missing Thanksgivings, which is super unfortunate. But this year, like, we're doing like a huge Friendsgiving thing. Like, it's not really huge out here, but I'm forcing my team, like, okay, bring your food, potluck, we're gonna do it, because I need to feel like home.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think you just made me feel like I played the wrong sport in college, because I played a spring sport. So in my mind, I'm like, how come I wasn't in Vegas and Bahamas and stuff? Like, I clearly played the wrong sport, okay? Like, no good holidays were we missing playing softball. It was just, we ain't miss no good
softball player.
Yes, but we ain't miss no good holidays. Like, what I miss Easter, God know my heart. Like, what we doing?
Right.
Come on.
I'm sorry, y'all. It's like my freshman year, my first Thanksgiving missing, I literally sat in the Bahamas, and I remember getting these watery, I'm so sorry, I'm so grateful for my food, Bimini, because that's where I was staying. But I got these watery mac and cheese, and I just sat there and I burst out into tears. And my coach was like, Kim was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I'm not." Like, I was so upset, but I learned it was so bad. I said, "This is not Thanksgiving food."
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
That's priceless right there.
Listen.
It made me who I am, y'all. Now I can miss Thanksgiving, and I'm okay. I can see little pictures of people and their little cookout knees and the plates on their knees. I can see it and not get in my feelings. I used to be I wish it tastes disgusting. I hope that makes your stomach hurt. I hope you have food poisoning. I be texting people, I hope you get sick tomorrow. Now I'm okay. Happy Thanksgiving. Super grateful for you guys.
I'm screaming, Chris.
Hating ass.
Hating. I'm screaming. When Thanksgiving be having people in the chokehold. Speaking of chokeholds.
Whoa.
Speaking of chokeholds, guys.
Transition for the win.
There is, it's so crazy because last week we were talking about Draymond Green and him talking junk to Anthony Edwards. So this week, y'all, we still talking about Draymond Green and the Timberwolves, but only this time we're talking about him and Rudy Gobert. Jesus. Okay, so for anybody who's been living under a rock for the last week and has no idea what's been happening. It was the second game of a back-to-back. Draymond Green, he got ejected like less than 100 seconds into the basketball game. The score was still practically like 0-0. For his part in an altercation with Klay Thompson and Jaden McDaniels. Okay, now Klay, him, McDaniels, Gobert, they were all fined $25,000. But Draymond got suspended for 5 games because he decided to put Rudy Gobert in a chokehold. So basically, this whole thing started because Klay and McDaniels, they were going back and forth. Low key, Klay was grabbing his jersey. Jaden was like, I don't like that. Yeah, it was really like Klay really was in the wrong, to be honest. But Jaden held his own. He started tugging back. They get into a scuffle. Rudy Gobert comes out of nowhere, grabs Klay. Draymond, being the enforcer teammate that he is, came to Thompson's aid, put Gobert in a sleeper hole, and here we are. But to be honest, y'all, my biggest issue isn't even Draymond. My biggest issue is the lack of accountability from Rudy Gobert. What made Draymond go there in the first place? See, this is the stuff that I be talking about. People always want to talk about the reaction, but they never want to discuss what made me react like that in the first place. What made me get disrespectful in the first place? Amen. And it was absolutely Rudy Gobert. Like, I get that the chokehold was a bit excessive because it wasn't like, the thing was, it wasn't like he just did it and like just let it go. Like, he did it and then drug Rudy for like a good 15 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where it got a little out of hand. Like, you ain't have to drag Rudy across the court in a chokehold. Like, that could get dangerous. That could get deadly. Like, that's where you went too far. But the initial, I'm coming to Klay's aid, like, that's how I want my teammate to respond in that same scenario. This is the same Draymond Green who punched the hell out of Jordan Poole in a practice. I need you to keep that same energy. If you're beating up the home team, I need you to keep that same energy with folks on the opposite side. So I wasn't necessarily mad at that, but it was in the post-game presser, y'all, where Rudy Gobert was like, oh, this is clown behavior. And that's where I was like, okay, no, we're not going to do that, because you're the same person who was out here touching on the microphones that shut down the NBA in 2020, making a joke of COVID. So we're really not about to talk about clown behavior, Rudy, because you probably...
Wait, hold up. A clown would know a clown though, right?
I'm just saying, like, you ain't the person to be leading that conversation about clown behavior, Rudy, because you got a history of doing some clown shit yourself. So that's where my issue comes from. I know Draymond got a 5-game suspension because he's Draymond. He's got the history. He's got all of that. But Chris, when you heard about this, like, what was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction is, Draymond, you wildin'. Draymond has been waiting for this moment, because clearly he has no respect for Rudy Gobert. He's been waiting to get him in a chokehold or do something to him. And he saw him put his arm around Klay, and I was like, all right, this is my chance. And boom, he seized on that motherfucker like no other. All right, seized on that shit. And then I think he wanted to pass out. Honestly, that's how I felt. Now, I disagree, though, because Rudy Gobert, he did punch his teammate last year, I think it was, during the playoffs. But Rudy Gobert is not an instigator. He's not somebody who's an aggressor. So I feel like he was trying to, break up McDaniels and Thompson. And how you get fined $25,000 for being put in a chokehold? That's what got me lost. You getting fined $25,000, and you're the one who got your ass put in a chokehold on national TV.
Chokehold first.
No. Chokehold
first. No. Draymond came over there.
No, he was not.
I
Tariq,
don't think
stop
he was
it.
putting him in a
Tariq, stop it.
chokehold.
Yes,
I don't
he
think he was
definitely.
putting him
He
in
put
a
his arm around.
chokehold.
You played and rewatched that clip at least 10 times. My man Clay was like these up under Rudy Gobert. I don't care what your intentions was. What Draymond saw was you got my teammate underneath your arms, and I'm about to come and check that shit. And I ain't mad at him.
It was like for half a second.
Right.
It was like
I just don't think
too long.
Rudy didn't have, like, you see how Draymond had.
right.
I don't think Rudy had that. Like, you could see Draymond whole bicep coming out. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, can you let him go? Can somebody get him? Like, what? That was dangerous. Clay was not like about to die. Like, everybody was concerned for Rudy's life. Like, Rudy was getting lightheaded for a second. Clay literally was being pulled away from an altercation he started. And now Rudy is getting fined for trying to break up something that Clay started. No, I think I'm with Chris on this one. Like, what? Dre?
Come
What
on,
are you
man.
doing?
Like he could.
Nope.
You talk about protecting your teammate. I'm all for it. He could have shoved, Rudy Gobert. He could have done anything else.
Could have punched him.
Right. He could have punched him. Now he.
That's not a proper alternative.
What? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You know
That
why?
would have slowed it down. Instead
It
of
would have
putting
slowed it down.
somebody in a headlock,
Right.
he literally drug him from the free throw line to the baseline, back to the free
But
throw line, back to the
lose
baseline.
consciousness from punches too. People lose consciousness. They get concussed. That's not a proper. The proper alternative would have been for all of them to just chill, separate, and chill. However, if I'm gonna be a goon, go 100% then. Like if I'm gonna go there, go there. I think y'all are being way too soft. I cannot believe this.
No.
Like,
For Draymond,
It's Draymond.
that's
like,
why you'd be surprised, you guys.
he was excessive, very excessive. I'm not really ever against Draymond's antics, but like this one, I was like, okay, Draymond, like you really pushing it. Like like this is a lot now. Before, honestly, the punch, I was like, Jordan probably says something crazy. This time we had too much proof. We was watching the game together. We were like, oh man, how's he gonna get out of this one? Like, you had no right to put him in the chokehold for that long.
And they lost.
Okay, see now we're on the same page for that long. Like the initial, I'm about to hem you up. I have no issue with that. I do agree though that like once you start dragging my man across the floor, like that's you're doing a bit too much. Like you went too far. But the initial hem you up, yeah, like you deserve that. You was gonna get all of that. You was gonna get all of that.
Okay, all right. We gonna agree to disagree on that one, Rika. But I think the other aspect about this, which is really fascinating, is how this is going to, or it already has affected the team. The Warriors, they beat the Rockets. Monday night, Steph Curry went off. Klay Thompson looked a lot better with his shot, but they're 10th in the West right now. They're 10th. Now, and before they beat the Rockets, they lost 6 straight. So he's throwing himself out of games. And we know how important he is to this team as an emotional leader, but also as a defensive specialist and somebody who has a really high IQ. And we're not sure, how much longer Klay is going to be able to play or get back to his, regular rate that we're so used to seeing before the ACL and the Achilles. So my thing is, you're doing a disservice to the team now. Because remember, last year, they had issues, and that was stemming from Jordan Poole and Draymond. This year, you got to miss 5 games. Steph Curry's been out some time. And again, some of these other players are not finding their groove right away. So at what point does Draymond be like, or the coaching staff say, Draymond, I know this is who you are, but you're really hampering us. You're putting us in a disadvantaged position. And you gotta pull back a little bit. I think that's fair to say. No, Didi?
I do. I have like 2 sides of this. Like, I agree that Draymond's like presence is definitely felt when he's not there. He's a huge defensive anchor, ball movement. He keeps the ball moving all the time. So I agree with that. I just think that him missing is not the only reason that they're losing though. Like, I feel like it's been way bigger than just Draymond not being there, and now it's just being magnified. Like you said, Clay has not been the same Clay for quite some time now. When is the front office gonna go and get, younger players, get some fresh feet out there? Like, it's now time. Like, father time calls on everybody, and not everybody comes back from injury like that. So I think, if anything, this should have opened the mind of the front office and the coaching staff. Like, I understand Draymond. We understand Draymond as a head case. Like, who's to say he come back after 5 games and don't put somebody else in a headlock? So it's like, it's time to start being proactive instead of reactive. I'm over it now. I'm over the excuses. I'm over Clay saying he's gonna come back. He's gonna figure it out. I'm over Draymond. He's gonna turn a new leaf and find God. No, like, I don't even know what's going on. Like, we need to figure it out. It needs to be something else,
Yeah, no, I'm on that same train. Now, honestly, I think this is less about, and this isn't me being biased to Draymond. Like, in all seriousness, it's really not about Draymond at all. Like, it's really about Clay.
Mm-hmm.
He's averaging 13.8 points a game, shooting 40% from the field. Like, he's not playing well, and it feels like it's not just, oh, I'm in a slump. Like, it's feeling like he's mentally not there. Now, I know, like, coming back off injuries, there are obviously some mental hurdles that you have to get over, right? I don't know what that looks like, because that looks different for everyone, what it is that you have to overcome mentally in order to get back on the court. But it just doesn't feel like he's there. And I think at this point that it is worth a conversation of whether or not you want to trade Clay. He's in the last year of his contract. Right. So it really is certainly a conversation that needs to be had. But I don't think that this team has proven that they know how to win without one of their stars. They've done it before. So not having Draymond there, yes, in this particular season, given the way that the West is stacked, we've talked about the West being stacked before, given the way that, they've made some off-season moves. You see, they shipped Jordan Poole to Washington, and that ain't working out neither. With all of that being said, I think the issue in Golden State is much larger than Draymond Green.
Yeah, it's definitely much larger than Draymond Green. I think it's heightened because of the issues and the weaknesses that Clay is showing. Sometimes Steph is not on. Andrew Wiggins, right? The addition of Chris Paul and how he shot horribly, right, as a 3-point shooter when it comes to how he comes off different pick and rolls or spot up, as opposed to just catch and shoot, right? He's much more prolific at that rate. So it's like, for me, you're just adding on to all the other issues that this team has. And people can say, oh, well, they'll figure it out, because they're the Warriors and they, won all these championships. But we said that last year.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened against the Lakers?
Yeah.
Took an L.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now go ahead.
I don't know. I can't agree more. I'm over Clay. I know that right now, like you said, this is last year, and it's literally, you can see he's playing like, I'm trying to get this contract extension instead of playing like Golden State ball. And I feel like that right now is the problem that Golden State can't fathom. Like, they can't accept that Clay is not Clay, which is okay. I completely understand that. Because, like, at the end of the day, that's Klay Thompson. We've seen what he's capable of. We've seen what he can do. It's just, now I think it's time to turn a new leaf with that, and maybe even Draymond at one point, or at least get somebody reliable like the Andrew Wiggins that came in and out for him. I feel like they're missing all the pieces that they used. They had a really good build of a team where they had like backups for everybody. They're missing all that this year,
Well, guys, you know what? Draymond ain't the only person that's sitting out games right now. He ain't the only person that's missing some games.
What are you talking about?
Who missing some games?
What are you talking about?
I don't know if y'all have been following, but switching gears a bit to same sport, different league. My girl Angel Reese been missing some games too.
Man,
now, poor child, say it again. Poor baby. She been missing some games. So following what I think most of us could say a very underwhelming first week of basketball, especially last week against Kent State, Angel Reese, she was benched in the second half of that game, and she ain't been back on the court since. There has been so much drama around LSU ever since then. Like, I feel like I am on social media watching an episode of All My Children, and that show has been out of syndication for like 10 years at this point, okay? Because between parents bickering on social media,
Right.
the fallout between Joyce Edwards choosing South Carolina and the release of her offer, then the on the court stuff with LSU, all of that is enough for you to really get your coffee and tune in. But then when you add the headlines and the speculation around why Angel Reese is benched, I think that just kind of adds fuel to an already burning fire. It feels like, so let me go back a second, because when Kim Mulkey was first asked about why Angel wasn't playing, she said it was a coach's decision. Later on, she went on to say, hey, she's a part of this team. We hope to have her back really soon. Second time she was asked this question days later, she's like, oh, I think you guys think that you're entitled to an answer, but I'm not going to talk about it. I already said that. So she's just pretty much avoiding the media questions around Angel, why Angel isn't playing. And honestly, I don't think that that is what's helping in the way that she thinks it is, because she followed up with saying, it's my job to protect my players. It was a quote, I'm going to protect my players. But I can't understand in this moment how that's protecting Angel, because Angel is now being spun a narrative about between her grades, between her personal endorsements with NIL, between her off-season endeavors. All of these things are now being placed on Angel as if this is part of the reason that she's not playing, when that could or could not be true. We don't know. And in terms of reporters being entitled, no, it's called reporters doing a job. The job is to report on the team, to know what the team is doing and share that. And part of that means you answering questions. So it's not about being entitled, simply about doing my job, which is what this particular reporter was trying to do before Kim started going off on this, I'm sick, but I refuse to get a COVID test. Ma'am, I'm sick of Kim. Didi, get your girl, man. What is going on with your girl?
Okay, I just want to start out by saying Kim thrives in the villain role. Okay, like this is what she likes. She enjoys this. Like we've seen multiple times she's been on this side of media. Dude, it doesn't bother her. I've been in the locker room. I've seen it all, and I'm just like, Kim, she's like, Didi, I don't care about them. I'll let them think how they want to think. That's how she says it, and I'm like, all right, girl. But like, I couldn't agree more with the fact that there's no way. Okay, so Kim is really good about trying to protect her players, keeping locker room business, but I don't think she's understanding that this is a different era. Like, this is a social media driven area. Your girl is one of the most famous college basketball players ever. Like, this isn't protecting her by any means. Like, this is actually like really defacing her brand at this point. Like the things that I see on Twitter when I open Twitter is like, oh my gosh, like Kim has got to say something. Like they're running with this, like running with the headlines of what it could possibly be, or making stories and articles. She's has 1.7 million followers on Instagram. Like Kim has to say something. This is her brand at this point. So that's where I am in disagreement to Kim. But like, I was suspended for a game or two, and Kim never told anybody. People still don't know why I was suspended for that game. Like I knew that she was never gonna say anything, and she probably will never say anything. Like it's gonna take probably Angel coming back and playing for Angel to speak up for herself. But I don't know, and like I don't even know what this can be. But I want to like Angel, bless her heart. Like that is so much pressure. That is so much. Like it's just so much going on. Like the kids these days have so much more to carry on their shoulders than we ever did. Like that is the whole world either against you or for you, and you just got to ride the wave with it type. Like you got to be such a different type of mental animal to kind of take in whatever the world is putting out. And Angel, for her to be so calm and to tweet something like, don't believe everything you read, it's like that's growth for her, and I want to give her flowers on that, because we've seen Angel talk herself into a hole, and she is just sitting there closing her mouth, taking it on the chin, and I'm really happy for her. Like she has grown. Whatever coaching she has gotten, I'm obsessed with it, and I want to talk to the person because I love it.
Chris,
I love it too.
I was gonna say I got a question for you, Chris, but go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
interested
like
to hear your question.
because Didi brought up a good point, and it was something that I was thinking of while she was talking, is because I know you and I have even on social media talked about PR relations between players and just in general. Like we're getting players NIL money, we're putting them in front of the press all the time. Like there comes a time where at some point you do need some type of PR training, and I don't know that schools are offering that. And I've recently said I think that coaches need PR training too, to be honest, because the stuff that they say at the podium is crazy. But with that being said, Chris, I was just wondering your opinion on, would this scenario still be happening if there was, like, if players were allowed to have like a PR firm or a PR rep other than the school's SID or other than what the school is able to provide? Like, could you see the same scenario happening? Because Dini's right, it is her brand that is on the line, like at this moment.
Yeah, I do think that's a really good question. And we wouldn't be seeing this because Angel would feel more empowered to speak up about what the issue is. However, there's still a power imbalance where Kim Mulkey is the head coach, right? She is the face of that program with all the money she makes, national titles. Angel Reese is a big part of that. And she has made Kim very rich, and successful. But still, it's like, oh, do I do this? Because if you decide to speak out, right, and say what the reason is, that might come to hurt you. That might come back to hurt you because Kim Mulkey is gonna say, well, why you sharing our business? That's not how we roll. And then she could get even in more trouble. So I do think it wouldn't. When Didi brought up the point about how Angel tweeted out, "Don't believe everything you hear." To me, yes, that was calm and measured, but it also told me that she hates the narratives that are being put out there about her. You have
Man.
so many people who are
Yeah.
clowning her about her grades, saying that, yeah, when she needs to put her name down on a test, she's struggling. There are all these memes and jokes about, oh, she wasn't, working hard during the summer when
Yeah.
she literally played on Team USA in the summer.
Right.
And then the fame's going to her head. So that's what really bothers me is she felt compelled. She felt she had to say something to make sure that the narrative was a little bit different. And then for Kim, to say to the reporter, hey, it's like a family. If you discipline your child, do you think we're entitled to know? Well, that's a false equivalency, right? A false equivalence. The reporter family is not on public display. They're not a national powerhouse. Kim Mulkey, Angel Reese in that squad, they are.
Yep.
So I didn't like that. But Didi, I want to know though, from your experience of being coached by Kim Mulkey, how does something like this perhaps affect the locker room, if at all? Because as you said, she don't care what the media says or how they look at her. She's gonna do what she's gonna do.
I think that this leads to that question as well. I feel like the gag is Angel and Kim are on the same page because Kim is real, like, she's real communicative. Like, she's going to talk to you through everything. Like, whatever's going on, she's going to come to the locker room. It's going to be a team meeting about it. It's going to be a single meeting about it, especially if you're her leader. You got to think about it. That's her leader. That's the person that she's relied on. They probably in cahoots the whole time. Like, there's times where people have been like, Didi, what's going on with your coach? And I knew exactly what she was thinking, exactly how she was feeling. Like, she just is a walking controversy. Like, she doesn't know what to say, how to say it, but it's how she feels. And that's unapologetically her. And essentially that's Angel, unapologetically her. So I feel like it doesn't do anything as of what's going on social media in the locker room. I feel like what's going on in the locker room has everything to do with whatever is going on in the locker room. Like, I don't think it has anything to do with this situation or whatever we're reading about. I feel like if there's something going on in the locker room, that is something that's going on in the locker room. I don't feel like it's connected at all. I feel like Kim does a really good job at separating media and locker room. She's always done that. So I don't believe that the media is even crawling into the locker room, making it uncomfortable. Now, could the NIL deals, could brands, could all that be a problem? I don't put that past any team. Like, this is a different era. Like, I have no idea what's going on in these locker rooms and how these people are getting these deals and how players are feeling jealousy or undermining about certain deals. Like, it's so much that can go on right now that we have no idea. So, like, I just feel like when she says they feel like they're entitled, I completely agree with GT that is their job. So it's like whenever she starts to figure that out, and this new realm of NIL and journalists, like, you have the most famous, I don't know how many times I can say this, you have the
Yeah.
most famous college player in the world. If you are being, if your feathers literally are being ruffled by a freaking reporter, you're gonna be, I'm shocked that they're not waiting outside their practice gym or following her. Like, this is a famous person she's a celebrity. Like, what are you expecting people to do? They're trying to figure out why this bill isn't playing, what's going on with the LSU team. So hey, LSU, y'all are in my prayers for sure.
I just want y'all to know that if Didi thought that we was just gonna let this slide that I'm about to bring back up, she was totally wrong, because I totally covered Didi in college. Why was you suspending, girl?
Oh, hey, yo, I was gonna ask Bill, like,
because I just remember this game, and we was all like, oh no, Didi's not
Oh
playing
my
today.
god.
Oh
Yo,
my god, what is
this
happening?
is so bad.
What I tell you, I was at that 2019 Final Four in Tampa. Okay, I was there. And I was like, listen, this is great. This is amazing. Congratulations, Kim. Congratulations. Why Didi had the puffs going on? It was,
yeah, I love the puff. Yeah.
no, the puffs was the puffs. Puffs was puffing. Okay.
Sure.
Hey, I'm saying in hindsight is 2020. It's old now. You can't get in trouble for it. She gonna sip her water. See?
Right. She over here. She got to spit it
Yo,
out.
yo,
Rika said, you ain't getting away with that.
that's college.
Is that what you did?
That's
You was out doing stuff you ain't had no business doing. You ain't make curfew. That's the narrative.
college.
Didi did
That has
not make
nothing to do
curfew.
with me now. There's nothing to do with who I am now. I don't even know who that was back in the day. I don't
I'm
even
sorry
know.
to this woman. I don't know who that is. I wouldn't know a thing.
It's me.
Oh
I have no
gosh,
idea what happened.
serious.
And Kim go keep it under the rug for me.
I'm like, let me go and find some old Baylor folks and be like,
Hey, at least you tried.
hey, what happened?
What happened to Didi?
You know what? We'll be back.
Yeah. I feel like we're getting a case of deja vu from the Phoenix Suns, particularly surrounding Kevin Durant, because he's been tearing up the league so far. However, his boys, I'm talking about Devin Booker and Bradley Beal, have not been able to stay on the floor together. We have not seen this big three play together all year. Durant has played 13 games, Booker 5, and Beal 3. And Beal is going to be out for a few weeks with a disc issue, right? So there's some nerve damage. That sounds extremely serious.
Yeah.
And I say deja vu because this is a man in Kevin Durant who had the same issues with Kyrie Irving and James Harden when they were in Brooklyn. Whether it was Kyrie was out because of the COVID mandate or injuries, going, birthday parties, or James Harden getting injured, KD getting injured. So it seems to me this is really a case of bad luck for Kevin Durant. And at his age, at 35, I'm not sure how much of a load he's going to be able to carry if he has to keep this up where his teammates are not reliable. And even with him, he may get injured at some point. Of course, we hope that doesn't happen, but that is the nature of the game. And at this current time right now, right, the Suns are in 7th place. They're 7-6. They have looked good at times, even though sometimes they blew, late lead to the Spurs with Wemby that first game. But I don't know how to feel about it or I do know how to feel about it. We are getting the appetizer, and then when it's time for the entree, the chef is nowhere to be found, right? Because we're getting KD and Booker, KD and Beal,
Right.
but when it's time for KD, Beal, and Booker, nothing. So I just wonder if they're going to run into the same situation that the Nets ran into, a few years ago, where they have this great cast, but the main guys are not able to stay healthy. So, Tarika, where do you stand on this matter? Because, of course, this is going to drag out probably the entire season, especially given the injury
Yeah.
that Bradley Beal has.
Yeah, but you know what? I agree with you that this is definitely looking like Brooklyn Part 2, like for sure. Because as you mentioned, you're once again in a situation with two other guys who you came or who you expect to help you carry the load, and those guys haven't been able to play their part. Now, I think the difference is between what happened in Brooklyn and what is possibly going to happen in Phoenix is that you got two people who want to play. You got two people who want to actually be in the lineup. Bradley Beal isn't, trying to prove some point or anything. He's literally injured to where he can't play. But I am of the belief that if he was not injured, he would actually want to be out there on the court. Same with Devin Booker, and you're even starting to see the difference. He's been, reinserted into this lineup, and it's really been a game changer. As a matter of fact, they're on a 3-game win streak right now. And part of that is because Booker's back. He's averaging 9.3 assists per game. So you can see them starting to spread the ball more. They're shooting as a team 53% from the field now that he's back. And you got Eric Gordon and Grayson Allen, who have really stepped up heavily for this team. So I think that there is light at the end of the tunnel when Bradley Beal returns. And it really can put them in a promising place. But there are other issues that Phoenix need to figure out. Number one, why y'all don't play no defense? Hello? You still letting teams put up 120 points on you. Figure that out, Phoenix. Figure that out. But all in all, I would say that I think Durant is in a better place than he was when he was going through this similar situation in Brooklyn. It won't last as long, and he definitely has people who want to play, whereas you don't know what was going on with James Harden. You don't know what was going on with Kyrie Irving. He was too busy trying to prove a point, sitting out, mental health days, all this other stuff. I mean, listen, I ain't hating on mental health, but you had a lot of days that you needed to take a break. So, I think that that's the difference. The teammates who he's going through this with provide a different outlook on basketball and their place in it than the teammates that he had to go through this with in Brooklyn.
That's such a great point. I literally was thinking that I don't know if I agree if this is the same or if this isn't, like, comparing the two, but I feel like, yes, I feel like that's why I feel like it's not the same. It's because he has a core group that really genuinely is not really trying to go out of their way to do something. Like, this is not underlying a bigger picture or anything. It's genuinely injuries. My only problem as to why I feel like it also is not the same is because I feel like at the end of the day, Kevin Durant knew what he was getting into by choosing to go to Phoenix. And I say that because D-Book deals with soft tissue injuries all the time. Like, it's unfortunate, but it's like, I've done that as well. I've been dealing with my hamstrings forever. You can't control the healing and the time frame of a soft tissue injury. So D-Book and his ability to be in and out of a lineup has been something that we've all seen. We've seen it since his whole career. And then on top of that, Bradley Beal, the past 4 years has played the total, at most 60 games like 3 years ago. And there's 82 games in a season. So, like, I'm not shocked that, I'm sorry, but Bradley Beal is hurt. Like, that's not shocking to me, or it wasn't shocking to me that D-Book was hurt. So I feel like this is now more so self-inflicted on Kevin Durant, whereas with the Brooklyn Nets, it was, you didn't expect Kyrie Irving to go out his way to try to prove a point. You got to support him because he's definitely somebody that's going to speak his mind. You know that about Kyrie Irving, but you didn't think that he was going to do all of that for when the COVID thing happened, So, and James Harden, I still don't understand that trade to get rid of all the young players that you get rid of for James Harden. I don't understand that infatuation with the big three whenever you can have a big two and a great supporting cast. That's just me, and that's just my opinion. But they did get rid of
I don't know what James Harden doing, girl. We ain't even finna go there.
Girl, like, I don't know what they was thinking doing that, but that has nothing to do with me. And then on top of that, Phoenix, I feel like Brooklyn, they didn't like the front office. The front office was a huge problem in Brooklyn. Out here in Phoenix, that's why I feel like Kevin Durant's in a better place as well, is that your front office is doing whatever they can for you. They're figuring it out, and they're all on the same page. They're all on one accord. Whereas I feel like the people on the court and the people in the front office was going against each other in Brooklyn. And I was in that exact same building. I feel like it was just tension. Well, and I would walk into practice and see them practicing. Like, it didn't even feel like a home there. So I don't think the same thing is going on in Phoenix. And that's why I feel like this will be a little different. And there is light at the end of the tunnel with Phoenix and Kevin Durant. So I don't really want to say it's bad luck, more so as I want to say that he knew what he was getting himself into. You want to go with Devin Booker and then later go ask for Bradley Beal. Come on. You wanted to play by yourself sometimes.
Yeah, for real. And to that point, it's like we've been saying it all show. We've said it in previous shows. The West is stacked. Like there is no room for mediocrity in the West. So you gotta bring your A game. And I think just even having Devin Booker back in the Phoenix lineup just does so much for this Phoenix team. Like they were, I want to say 7th or 8th in turnovers. Now that you got D-Book back, you got like a real point guard, someone who knows how to control the ball. And the turnovers you've seen over these last couple of games have started to decrease. So I think Kevin Durant is in a better situation, but you're right, Didi. Like you knew what you was doing when you came here. I actually felt that way about KD for the last couple of places that he's relocated to. You knew what you were doing when you got there. You knew what was at stake. You knew who you were playing with. It certainly wasn't your first time playing with James Harden. You knew what that train was.
So hold up. He played with James Harden when they were babies in the NBA.
What that means, your character traits, sometimes character traits don't change. And the problem with that is James Harden thinks that he's still that same James Harden from Oklahoma City, and he's not. So that's neither here nor there. But it's true. So that's neither here nor there. But listen, you have got to essentially put yourself in a position to where you don't. I feel like as you get older as a player, you want to put yourself in a position to where you don't always have to be the guy. And Kevin Durant continually puts himself in a position where regardless of who he's playing with, he has to be the guy. Even in Golden State, that second championship, that was KD, bro. Like it's what it is. So you're 36 years old. I mean, you're mid 30s. You balling. Don't get me wrong. You want an MVP combo, you balling. Yeah, but at some point, like you want to be able to put yourself in a position to literally co-play with folks and not always feel like you have to be the guy. And unfortunately, Kevin Durant puts himself in these positions. So you knew what you was doing when you got here.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing, but you know.
Oh Lord, Chris.
Chris trying to find a way to stop capping for these men, Chris. And here's what it is.
It's not capping. What I'm going to say is I find it hella ironic that ever since he left Golden State, he's run into these issues where when he went to the Warriors, yes, he was the best player. The most valuable player was probably Steph Curry because of all the attention that they gave him in the playoffs. And then you have to look at the injury situation with the Warriors, or with the teams that they went up against. They were benefactors of a lot of teams getting injured, whether it was K-Love, Kyrie Irving, or whether it was a Kawhi Leonard injury. They have been on the right side of history in their run to becoming a dynasty. The year they beat the Celtics, that was special. That they were flat out the better team. But my point is, KD leaving the Warriors has kind of put him on this path where, to your point, he's chosen to be the guy when he could have stayed in Golden State and they probably win a couple more titles. But that whole Draymond Green situation on the bench, like, you a bitch, we don't need you. We want that kind of escalated.
Was he wrong? I mean, no, KD.
Hold up, man. Hold up.
KD ain't no bitch. I ain't saying that. Like, no. But I'm saying, like, they did win titles without him. Like, was he wrong?
No.
Don't talk about Draymond in front of Tito. She gonna go off about Draymond.
Let's not. Draymond is from Michigan. He is a Michigan State Spartan. That's 2 of 2. I don't even need a 3. We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
I feel whenever Tarika hears somebody talking about Draymond, like her ears perk up. What'd you say? What'd you say about Saginaw, huh?
Don't do that.
What?
Don't do that.
I can understand it though. I literally meet so many people that love Draymond. They're like, I'm so used to this. Why do people love this man like this? But I don't even want to get into no Draymond talk no more.
Yeah, we done enough Draymond talk on this show or on this episode.
Like,
yo, my mention's about to be crazy. I'm playing y'all before y'all come at me on Twitter. Relax.
They'll get over it. They'll get over it. But we about to head to break. On the other side, we got a nice little game for y'all, and yeah, stay tuned, baby. We got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes. You name it. We got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes. You name it, baby. Okay. Y'all know what time it is. It is the Thanksgiving edition of Start, Bench, and Cut. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to give different categories where we're going to start, bench, and cut. So we got meats, veggies, the carbs, desserts, and the desserts number 2. We starting off with the meats portion.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't Arby's, by the way, okay? Turkey, ham, and fried chicken. I'm just saying, we have the meat. For me, I'm starting honey baked ham. I'm benching turkey and then cutting fried chicken.
Whoa. Wrong answer.
Wait, hold up. Oh, hold up. No. Let me run that back. I'm starting ham because I love some honey baked ham. I'm benching fried chicken. Then we're gonna cut turkey because sometimes the turkey be dry as hell. So yeah.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm going with. What you doing, Didi?
Okay, so the correct answer should go second. I agree. So what I'm gonna start is fried chicken because who's not starting fried chicken? And then I'm gonna bench. Hell, they're both really. If I could cut both, I would cut both. I'm not eating the ham nor the turkey.
What?
So like, I'm gonna say
turkey.
I'm gonna say bench the ham, cut the turkey. Period.
I'm starting my answer, cutting Didi's answer, and benching his answer. Now, so I'm starting turkey, but here's the thing: turkey doesn't necessarily mean like the actual bird, because we eat turkey wings, turkey drums with the gravy on it.
Okay.
So
I just saw that on TikTok. I said I could probably get into that.
Yes, we don't necessarily have like turkey. So I'm starting with turkey. I'm benching the ham. I love honey baked ham. We might bring that in later.
Yeah.
I'm definitely cutting fried chicken on Thanksgiving. I mean, we get fried chicken every other day of the week. So on Thanksgiving, you're not the star today.
Right.
So that's me.
Okay. I just really don't like turkey nor ham. So I'm always the girl that has no meat on her plate during Thanksgiving. Just a whole bunch of sides and bread. I'm not.
Hey, sometimes that's all you need.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, Chris.
All right, we got veggies. So we got greens, green bean casserole, and broccoli. Now, Tarika's face, he said it's I'm starting greens for sure. Love me some collard greens if it's done
That's
right.
What we can agree on.
Chef's kiss. Okay, thank you, Didi.
Yes.
You better agree here too. We cutting the hell out of green bean casserole. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that.
Right now.
Okay. And then we benching broccoli. I love me some broccoli. So we good. We all in agreement there.
I'm in agreement with the veggies.
Yes. Honestly, I wanted like broccoli and rice casserole instead of broccoli. I love me some broccoli and rice casserole, y'all.
Oh, okay.
I hear the accent coming out. I love me some broccoli.
That's that Texas right there.
Yeah.
Right.
My daddy. You mixed it.
This is my favorite part, y'all. This next category is my favorite one.
Period.
Carb side. This is what everybody came to see.
Mm-hmm. This is
these are the MVPs, right?
These are the MVPs, y'all.
Yes, mac and cheese, stuffing, or dressing, however you want to call it.
It is not the same. It is not whatever you want to call it. They are not the same. Stuffing is stuffing. It's just
that's what our producer Yao said. So this is our me. Okay, this is not our me. Or candy yams. Hey man, he'll be all right. Y'all gonna be all right. Or candy yams, right? So for me, it's starting mac and cheese, and then we're gonna bench candied yams. I love me some yams.
Ooh, it's getting feisty.
And cutting stuffing. I don't miss stuffing whatsoever. I
Yeah.
don't care for it.
Yeah.
I don't hate this lineup, Chris, man. I don't hate the lineup.
Okay.
I think I go back and forth between yams and mac depending upon which auntie make the mac and cheese. You know what I mean? So, like, if my auntie Dianca make the mac and cheese, mac and cheese is first.
Okay.
First. Period. I'm starting mac and cheese if Auntie Dianca make it. If Auntie Dianca don't make it, the candy yams is first because my Nana makes it every time. And she gonna put her foot in there every time. So I'm gonna just say, because my Nana ain't never fell off, start candy yams, bench mac and cheese, and cut the stuffing. Period.
See, I'm on the same train that Didi on.
Okay.
You know?
I'm on the same train that Didi on, except if this was dressing over stuffing, we might have had a different outcome. Because, see, for those who don't know, stuffing is what you actually pull out of the turkey. So when people put the dressing in the turkey, and you pull the breaded stuff out, that's stuffing. That's where the name comes from. Dressing is made in the oven. So you make that in the bowl. You mix all with your bread, your sage, your salt, pepper, your onion, break up your cornbread and all that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, add your little gravy, little salt, little boiled water, little chicken broth, all of that up in there, because your girl can cook, okay? Add all that up in there, and you put that in the oven, and when you pull that out, and it's all nice and breaded in the little pan, and it's all brown at the top, that's dressing, baby. That right there is top tier.
Is that the one you put cranberry sauce on?
That is the one. Come on,
right
now.
Cranberry.
You put some cranberry sauce and some gravy on that thing. Let me tell you, I don't know if I could cut that. So I had to make sure we had to differentiate if this was dressing or stuffing. But since it's stuffing, that's where y'all wanted to go. Then we cutting that thing. That's up out of there. I'm going to say mac and cheese is going to start for me. Although, depending on who makes the mac and cheese, some people mac and cheese ain't starting in nobody's lineup. So there is that. So, I mean, I need to know who's making the mac and cheese, but I'm going to go on a limb and say we start the mac, bench the yams, cut the stuffing.
Do you like your mac and cheese like 5 cheese?
I need all the cheeses.
You know, all of it?
Yeah.
You like it to be brown and crispy, right?
It's got to be crisp. Like the top can be crispy.
Yeah, yes.
When you cut into it, you got to.
My mouth is watering, and
I'm telling you, I want mac and cheese right now.
Hey.
I ain't gonna lie, if y'all cooking and y'all want to ship some over to Sydney, Australia, I'll just send my address.
I got you.
Okay. Yeah.
Got you.
FedEx.
And
FedEx. And tell, you say your auntie, right, Dianca?
Oh my gosh. Yes, she just got married y'all on Sunday. Shout out.
She got married.
Dianca.
Okay. Congratulations, Dianca. And while you celebrating, could you bless us with some of that mac and cheese?
Mac and cheese.
Y'all. When Auntie Dianca make the mac and cheese, the whole family be running to the kitchen. You know, I be going to the kitchen.
Yes.
But she know to put something for me on the side because I am the family's favorite, but no one wants to say that. So
I can believe that.
You would say that. you would say that. Okay. Next up, we got breads. Hawaiian rolls. Excuse me. Let me do it again. All right, next up, we got the breads. Hawaiian rolls, biscuits, cornbread. Now, for me, I love me some good-ass Hawaiian rolls. So I'm going to start that. And then cornbread, I'm going to bench.
Yeah.
Biscuits, they're going to have to get cut. I don't think about biscuits for Thanksgiving, really. It's just not something that comes to mind. But give me some good cornbread and those Hawaiian rolls. I would eat those for breakfast for a whole meal if I could. But I'm trying to watch my my weight and get my body right. So, that's
literally. I'm a bread girl, y'all. I'm a bread gal, and I say it all the time. Like, anything tortilla, pita bread, anything, I'm going to eat it. So this is another one of my favorite sections of this part. So I'm taking it really seriously. But because we have Hawaiian rolls year round, and I eat those all the time, I'm going to bench them for now, but I feel so disrespectful to the high and roll gods, okay? Hawaiian roll, I am sorry. But I'm going to have to start my meemaw cornbread. Oh, y'all, I'm getting so excited about Thanksgiving, and I'm not even going to be there. But I'm going to have to bench biscuits because that's not like a breakfast food to me. Like, I want to put some syrup on it. I don't know why. Butter and syrup. I don't want that for Thanksgiving. But my meemaw cornbread, y'all. I just can't stop thinking about that. I can't believe y'all are doing this to me. I'm not even going to be there for Thanksgiving, and now I have to talk about the food that I want to start with to cut. This
It's
is
because
insane.
our producers are cruel. Our producers are
cruel.
They are cruel. Okay. If it makes you feel any better, my husband's a chef. He has to work on Thanksgiving. So I will be spending Thanksgiving for 12 hours alone because I live in Connecticut and I ain't got no family here. I'm gonna eat though. I'm gonna eat though. I'm gonna just go to the store and make my own.
Jealous of you. I just got so jealous of you year round. You got a chef or a husband? Where you do that?
He don't cook me shit because he at work. So we are eating DoorDash, boo. We are not eating anything up in here. This kitchen is clean. Do you hear me? It's been cooked on it.
Hey yo. In my mind, I saw that going differently.
In your mind, you thought, no, that's how you get you. He cook you the food when he gets you. And then once he got you and he got to work 12 hours a day, you're ordering DoorDash. So all y'all folks are talking about Cheesecake Factory. Well, we eating the shit out of Cheesecake Factory up in here. Okay? Because ain't nobody cooking. But to your back to the bench, start bench cut.
Yeah.
We starting cornbread. We are benching biscuits. And I am cutting Hawaiian rolls. But it's to the point you made, Didi. I can get Hawaiian rolls anytime. Yep. Like, but it's got to be homemade biscuits. Like, it can't be like, some random popped out of the thing biscuits. Like, my mom makes like homemade yeast biscuits. They the bomb.
Okay. All right. That's something else.
Because I was thinking Pillsbury for show.
Pillsbury. Yes. Pillsbury. Or give me some Cheddar Bay biscuits, Red Lobster. Right. Yeah, that'll get me
my favorite part. This is my favorite part, Chris.
She talking about desserts, people. Starting off with number one dessert: pecan, apple, or sweet potato. So for me, I love me some apple pie with some caramel sauce and the whipped cream. Oh my goodness, it's just so succulent, right? So we're gonna start that. Then love me some pecan. Gotta have the pecan. If it's done right, it's not overly sweet, but just enough. And then sweet potato is cool, but again, I'm not too excited about it. So that's gonna be cut. So yeah, start apple, bench pecan, sweet potato. See you later. Now, do you agree with those, Didi?
I just broke my heart. I can't lie. I literally am going to put pecan pie. I'm starting it. Because my Nana, she puts her foot in that too. It's the candy ass of the pecan pie Nana got. Have it. Pecan pie 1. Second, sweet potato pie. Because my meemaw is going to do it. Okay? She's going to do some sweet potato pie. Everybody that comes to the house be like, is Meemaw cooking? Is Meemaw making the sweet potato pie? Is Meemaw making the cornbread? They got that. They got that for them. But I'm going to have to cut apple pie. I ain't never been an apple pie fan unless it's the one from Popeyes or McDonald's in the little thing.
What?
Yeah, I know. What? I knew you were going to hit that.
Jesus.
Hey, look. Overlord. First to say apple pie from McDonald's, I used to kill that.
Amazing.
Like in high school. But compared to the homemade, what?
I just don't think I've ever tried it either. If I'm being completely honest, I have never just had a slice of apple pie and eaten a slice. I've always gotten it from McDonald's or Popeyes.
I cannot believe I'm hearing this. This is a revelation. Folks, we will have to get Didi some real apple pie because this is
that what we're going to do?
That's what we're going to do. We're going to get Didi some real apple pie. This is tough for me, guys. I love desserts. Okay. But there are two things that I noticed. I noticed one, I clearly am from Detroit because y'all say pecan, I say pecan. So there's that.
I knew somebody was gonna say. I knew it was somebody was gonna say the way I pronounced it.
I'm
Like,
like, that's pecan pie, folks. Okay. So
Pecan.
so here's the thing. The thing
Wow.
for me is, and I'm gonna try to make this quick, okay. Apple pie is my third favorite dessert ever. So, like,
okay.
in the hierarchy of desserts, it's key lime pie, cheesecake, apple pie. Like, those are my top three ever. Like, ever. However, Thanksgiving is its own season. So, there are certain things that I can allow Thanksgiving
Okay.
that I probably wouldn't any other time.
Mm.
Thanksgiving, I'm saying I would probably start sweet potato pie. I would
I don't-
probably bench pecan pie. And I would have to cut unwillingly apple pie only because it's Thanksgiving.
I
Other
agree.
than that, like this is the only season where I'm really gonna eat sweet potato pie and pecan pie. Like any other season of the world, apple pie is third. Don't ask me, don't question. Like this is apple pie winning. It's period. And it is what it is. But in this season, I'm starting sweet potato, I'm benching pecan, and I'm cutting apple.
Okay.
I'm
I
not
was, I
happy
was
about it.
I was about to ride you there and give you a lot of hell for that, but you got what you needed to do because you said yes. It's for Thanksgiving only.
Thanksgiving only.
Thanksgiving
it.
only. So
That's
you
it.
good in my book now.
That's it.
All right. We got one more dessert category: carrot cake, pumpkin pie, banana pudding. And let me tell y'all, banana pudding. My sister-in-law makes some of the best banana pudding I've ever had. So that's number one. We starting that joint.
I know that's
Carrot
right.
cake. I know a lot of people hate it. They think it's disgusting.
Mm.
I'm one of those weirdos who enjoys it.
Mm.
So we're going to bench it. And then pumpkin pie, again, it doesn't move the needle for me. It does not move the needle for me. It doesn't matter who makes it. So pumpkin pie, you can get your ass out of there.
Yeah. Honestly, I can keep this one short. I'm cutting all three, man. I don't want either one of them. I do not want neither one of them.
Wow.
And my Nana apparently makes really good banana pudding, so I hear. But I'm allergic to bananas by choice. I forget to tell people that. I don't like bananas, so I'm
You
allergic.
said allergic by choice.
Mm-hmm.
Child. I'm with you, Chris. I'm with you, Chris. And to clear the air about pumpkin pie, I actually don't think pumpkin pie is gross. I think pumpkin pie is okay, but I'm not picking it first like all these other folks. Like they're like, oh, it's pumpkin pie. Like, nah, it's not. Like it's the bottom tier of pies. Like it's edible, sure.
Yeah.
There, sure. But like I ain't choosing pumpkin pie over sweet potato pie, apple pie, pecan pie. Like no way. There's no way. Anyone's doing that is not truly a dessertier. I don't know if that's a word, but I made it up.
You just created
It
it.
sounds
Just
great. It should be
created
added to the Urban
It
Dictionary after
should be
this
added.
podcast.
I am a dessertier, and we are not eating pumpkin pie first.
I'm sorry,
We're
but you keep saying key lime pie, and I'm not here for it. T.
Well, hold up now. Hold up now. Let's not disrespect key lime pie.
Show we done.
Key lime pie.
See,
Yeah,
that's how we know we need to end this episode because you done lost your mind, Didi Richards.
disrespect
You done-
key lime
Key
pie.
lime pie.
Yes, key lime
Ooh.
pie.
And when I see it, it just gives mint chocolate chip.
Okay, all right.
Okay. See,
You know what?
you know
I
what?
was gonna wish both of y'all a
Right.
happy Thanksgiving, but now I'm only gonna wish Tarika a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Because
Thanksgiving,
Didi,
Chris.
hey, this is what happened when Didi don't get her
Guys,
nap. She don't get her naps.
I need the happy Thanksgiving. Please, I don't even celebrate it anymore.
Okay, happy Thanksgiving, Didi.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. And we want to wish everybody out there who's listening or watching this episode happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're able to spend it with your loved ones and able to soak up those moments and not take them for granted. And make sure, y'all, to follow the pod on Twitter at the 3on3 pod and then on Instagram, 3on3 pod. And also just download this podcast wherever you get it. Subscribe, like, follow, tell us how great we are or if we suck, what we need to work on. It don't matter. We take it all because we don't run from no smoke. And on that note, that is it for this episode of the 3on3 pod, baby.